time, my food time, fold it up and smoke it. Transgression, a progression of a war we ain't asked for. Transgression, a progression of a war we ain't asked for.
It's madness, yo. All the things that we could talk about.
Call it.
But let's talk about these urban circumstances real quick.
And basically, it's
we got this.
So,
Revolution.
Winner of frosty hand. Muhammad is the fame's name, forever stand.
Standing on royal fusing of justice for the few, ridiculed by the pale terrorists, bent on genocidal obsession, rooted in fear of neglection and abandonment, fueled by nightmares of ancestors' jealousy.
because at the end of the day, I still want to be able to I don't dislike George Washington.
The kind of friends I think all friends should be like my friends. My friends are the kind of friends I think everyone needs. My friends see the things at times I don't see. My friends hate the police.
What has changed?
Are deemed the criminals, and the blacks are deemed the criminals.
Shut up and help. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Coffee and Conversations with the Urban Conservative, aka Chaz Neal. Grab that cup of Joe, find a cozy spot, and let's get that real deal Holyfield. Today, we're diving into the heart of Minneapolis, dissecting the recent lawsuit, the organizations involved, and the legislative moves shaping the narrative. I'm your host, the Urban Conservative, and we're about to unpack some serious stuff. Yeah, yep, Ruth. I'll call you as soon as I'm off live. So let's kick it off. Zachary Coppola, a Minneapolis resident and attorney, dropped a lawsuit that's got the whole city buzzing. Allegations of illegal practices and the violence prevention programs. It's a wild ride, my friends. But where we unravel the layers, let me give you the laydown. Illegal procurement process and proper use of federal funds, conflicts of interest, it's all in there. This lawsuit is like opening a can of worms, and we're here to dissect it. Each squiggly bit. Let's dive into the talking points. We're talking about the murky waters of the city's procurement process, arbitrary, capricious, and potentially violating every fair competition rule in the big book. It's a legal thriller unfolding in real life. And what's crazy is this isn't something that's new in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? We've had the Feeding Our Futures. And I don't know how many people have read the article from Star Tribune, KSTP. Let me pull it up real quick. But it just shows us that these programs are set up for scams and fraudulent behavior than anything else. And we keep on seeing that over and over again with, I don't know if there's a video with this or not. No. All right, so there's no video with this. Stop screen. And I am we'll read this article together. And I got a video too to show. Make this higher, more readable. All right. So A lawsuit against the City of Minneapolis alleges that the city has illegally awarded contracts related to violence prevention programs and stonewalled the plaintiff behind the litigation on multiple public record requests. Now, if people don't know what a public records request is, it's part of the Freedom of Information Act, and there are stipulations to that. And I'm glad that Zachary, who is an attorney and resident of the city, became concerned about how the city was awarding millions of dollars in contracts to violence prevention programs in the wake of the Feeding Our Future scandal. The complainant says Coppola began filing several requests under the Minnesota Data Practices Act, seeking information about how the city was awarding these various contracts. It's alleged the city has not provided all the information requested in 5 separate public record requests. The lawsuit also alleges the city has improperly, arbitrarily, and I don't even know what that word is, and therefore illegally awarded significant public funds to violent prevention programs. The Minneapolis City Attorney's Office sent 5 Eyewitness News this statement in response to the litigation. While the city is still reviewing the verbose complaint, it is clear that it is not alleging that the city engaged in any sort of criminal behavior. Rather, the complainant alleges the city engaged in an arbitrary and capricious procurement process and cites various alleged conflicts of interest, many of which are subjective and are not actual conflicts of interest in a government procurement process. Grants are lawfully awarded to organizations that have proven to do good and well-connected work in the community. Oftentimes, those organizations are run by the leaders that have deep ties to the community. And we're going to talk about those ties in those organizations today. And many times, work for various community-facing entities. There's nothing criminal or illegal about that. Now, there is, right? And that's what we're going to get into today, because the complainant states that some of these organizations are improperly using federal funds, as some that have received funding from the city engage in lobbying or political activity. Yes, they do. That's how VTAW won. Not only do the 2 organizations have a history of lobbying, but both have conducted consulting related to voter registration. The lawsuit notes adding use of federal funds for this purpose is illegal. The lawsuit is asking the courts to intervene by stopping the current projects and have the city rebid them under a competitive procurement process and compel the city to comply and turn over all remaining information requested under the Data Practices Act. It's also seeking reimbursement for attorney fees, which he should. Now, we're going to read this a little bit because to me, there's some really good context in here, and it really gets into, I don't know, is this showing? I got to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, hold on. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So here is the whole lawsuit is 35 pages, and I'm going to put it in the comments so people can see it. That way you can look at it yourself, because the people that I'm going to talk about this morning, and I'm going to say names, I'm going to say Trey Pollard from We Push for Peace. I'm going to say Jerry McAfee and Sharif Willis from 21 Days of Peace. I'm going to say Lisa Clemens, L. Flowers Sr. and Jr. I'm going to say some names today, and I want people to and also I'm going to show proof behind these names, right? Of why I'm putting it out there. I'm going to show y'all everything of what I'm talking about. I'm going to put it out there so people can see it. Because Lisa and them already got me blocked, so they ain't going to be able to see none of this or what I'm doing, which at the end of the day, I know they will hear about it, but they won't confront me about it. And that's the problem, because I've asked over and over to Jerry McAfee to sit here and have a sit down so that I could sit here and put some of this stuff in front of him that I see as scandalous. As we see, with the Feeding Our Future, And that's the one thing, because we literally see people going to Kenya. That man ain't coming back. That man ain't coming back. And the crazy thing about it, once this lawsuit dropped, they you had a parking board member, Alicia Smith, right, whose new name is Cradup, all of a sudden resigned effective immediately. Now, Smith got a lot of this money because she is with the Corcoran organization, which got a lot of money. Now, she's not named in this, but please, if you don't understand what's going on in the city, and if you've seen the thumbnail, actually, let me see if I can pull up the picture real quick, because I want y'all to see this. So I'm gonna stop the screen. Who ain't coming back? She's Alicia Smith. She is literally, she resigned from saying that she moved out of the city on October 30th. Now she's got a new job at Kids and Kinship. It's I don't know. They do Burnsville, Shakopee, Apple Valley, some program out there that she's executive director. And I just thought it was weird of how all of this money that you can literally connect to these groups, you can connect back to politicians, Cedric Frazier, Bobby Champion, Keith Ellison, Vital, parking board members like Alicia Smith, who these people literally benefit off money that is supposed to come back to the community. And it doesn't. It doesn't come back to the community because it goes into these pockets and it wins elections. That's why I say these people aren't elected, they're selected. And we see it. We just seen it Tuesday. We seen it in Ward 4 with Vital, because I'll tell you right now that I'm disheartened by Ward 4. And I'm going to tell you why I'm disheartened by Ward 4. It's for the simple fact of there is 11,000 registered voters in Ward 4. In Ward 4. Oh, I definitely agree with you. And that's what I'm about to get into. When you literally only have 31% of Ward 4 vote, that is a problem for me. And it should be a problem for everybody that's in Ward 4. So literally only 31%, right? And then we even break it down, even only 69% or 68%, whatever the numbers were, of that 31% wanted Vital. So literally only 21% of Minneapolis, North Minneapolis, Ward 4, wanted a woman. That's not 50% of the vote to win. I'm sorry, it's not. And it saddens me that we literally are undereducated to understand that our vote does matter. It does matter, because the next day after that election, you had little boy Mayor Frey do an interview talking about that he had his veto pen ready. That he had his veto pen ready. No, and I understand that. I'm only, the crazy thing about it for me is I sat back and I watched a lot of things that were going. And right now, I don't even live in Minneapolis, and I'm probably one of the most educated, informed people about Minneapolis. And it's sad to me that people that actually live in the city don't even understand what's going on, or don't even know what's going on, because they're undereducated, or they're too busy by working 2 to 3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to me how people been calling these scams since 2020, because that's when I started seeing it. That's when I seen Ben Crump coming to Minneapolis handing these activists money. That's when I seen all the bamboozlement. That's when I seen all the shadiness. And it was ridiculous to me how nobody was really wanting to call it out. And then when you dig deep, you go to archived podcasts or archived blogs by Rest in Heaven, Rest in Peace, Ron Edwards, Mel Reeves, people that were actually and that's the crazy thing. If people went out and read Johnny Northside, if people actually confronted, and I mean confront, Don Allen, and I like Don, don't get me wrong, I like Don Allen, but that man has a lot of knowledge about the past up there, about the NAACP, about the Urban League, about how Minneapolis public school systems has fucked over our kids and our youth for years. And yet people don't listen to him. That's what the crazy thing for me is, because you literally had Ron Edwards, rest in heaven, call this out to George Floyd, that not exactly that it was going to be George Floyd and that it was going to be a knee to a neck, but said that literally that a man was going to die at the hands of the police in Minneapolis, and it was going to cause a national effect. Called it out because they already had they had COVID, right? They needed something. They needed the threes. So they had COVID, they had an election, and then they had the police kill a black man. But why not Ahmaud Arbery? Huh? Why not Breonna Taylor? That wasn't enough. Because literally what has changed since 2020? The only thing that I've seen is people pockets gotten fatter and our communities have gotten worse. That's all I see, because we have more homeless people now than we did in 2020. And yet there's billions of dollars that is going for housing, but they would rather have renters than to have homeowners, because they don't want us to be stakeholders. They don't want us to actually have a say what goes on. They don't want us to be informed. They don't want us educated. And I'm way off. But and you're definitely right, Angela. And if people don't know who this is Angela Williams, who ran for 4th Ward in North Minneapolis. And it just saddened me, because I just see people complaining on Facebook, but yet probably didn't go out and vote, and that are in Ward 4. And it's like, why didn't you go vote? That's all I want to ask people. You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you go vote? That's all I want to ask. Like, you know, so another organization received an $85,000 contract. See, now this is crazy to me, because you literally, so if people don't remember, in 2020, we had 3 ballot questions in Minneapolis. We had one to reimagine public safety, the Minneapolis Police Department. We had strong mayor, and then there was rent control. You literally had these organizations, right? You had Jerry McAfee, Lisa Clemens out lobbying in their organizational matters, right? Their shirts, and they'd be out telling people, lobbying against a ballot question, or they were telling people about the strong mayor amendment. And it really shocked me. And it was like, well, it didn't really shock me, but it was like, how can these people say they're for the community, but yet you're in the pocket of the oppressor? And that's exactly what I was talking about yesterday with House Negro and Field Negro, because that's what I see a Nakima, a Vital. Actually, you know what? Let me take this back, because I'm going to throw Nakima's husband, Marquise, Renaissance man, in it too, as a House Negro, because they want to put these people on a pedestal as Black excellence. And then when you look at other people like me or like Angela or Marvina, you know, they see us as field Negroes, right? And that's what's crazy to me, because there's no difference between any of us, for the simple fact of one thing: they're indoctrinated. They have degrees, college degrees, right? Political science, or they might be lawyers. How you got a political science degree, or you're a lawyer, a civil rights lawyer, but you ain't out here taking civil rights cases? Make it make sense to me. Yeah, I'm not holding back no more, man. The glove's coming off. The glove, and this punk, Keith Ellison, these people aren't going to do nothing. Walls, Flanagan, because literally these people aren't going to bite the hand that feeds them. And these are these people: Ellison, Cedric Frazier, Bobby Champion, Vital, Andrea Jenkins. Damon, Andrew, whatever the fuck they want to call dude. Because I'm tired. I'm literally tired. And if people want to call me, I don't know how many things I've been called this week with being called all kinds of shit. She ain't won nothing. She ain't never done nothing. And that's the crazy part. But they want to get all these awards, all these galas. For what? Our community is suffering. But you know what? What's crazy? They don't live in the community. So why would they care if the community's suffering or not? Because they got their money and they left. That's what we do as Black people. See, that's what trips me out is I was just talking to my mom about this the other day. And I said, Mom, why is it that when Black people get rich, and get money, they move out of the community instead of putting that money back into the community like how white people do it? And it's because we're not taught to see, because I'll say it like this. More drug dealers do more for the community than these community leaders, right? Because that money that they're giving turkey giveaways or they're doing backpack giveaways, that money came from the city, or it's donations for people that from big corporations that just want to oppress us more, right? But the drug dealers, that came from, and I know people are going like, how the fuck is he comparing that? I am going to compare it, because for the simple fact of that drug dealers, yeah, we did turkey giveaways. We get, just like, what's crazy is, in 2020 and 2021, me and Marcus and Alamar and Jennifer, Ashley, we did a lot of things on 36th and Penn. That wasn't no grant money. You know what I'm saying? Biker Club. Yep. I wanted to throw them in there. I don't know many, but I know the ones that were in North Minneapolis. They came out when Anaya, LaDavion, Trinity, they were really out there and by any means necessary. And that's the things that I like. I like to hang around people that, like Angela, by any means necessary, because that's what we need. We don't need the Jelanis, the Jonathan McKellans, the Jonathan Thompsons, because those people aren't real. They say by any means necessary, but yet when Master comes around, they bow down. They bow down. And I'm going to tell you why they bow down, because if they didn't bow down, we would have change. We would have reform. Right? Black lives would really matter instead of us just being second-class citizens right now, because that's what we are. That's how I literally feel when I walk out of my house every day as a Black man, as a second-class citizen. That's what's up. That's what's up. See, and I like hearing things about that, because honestly, at the end of the day, I know you hung out with a bike club. I didn't know which one it was, because I watch people. I'm an observer. So I've seen you doing different things. And that's what, honestly, that's what drew me to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen your heart, and your heart is pure gold. It's for the community. You're not bought and paid for, because the only thing that matters to you is about bettering your community. And that's what I love. I love that. You know what I'm saying? And it saddens me that when you're outspoken and you want to hold people accountable, yes, that this city does appreciate you. Yes, they do. There's people in the community. See, City Hall maybe doesn't appreciate you, but the streets do. The streets, and that's what matters, because you were going into City Hall for us in the community. See, and you got to think about that, because you are appreciated. You are loved by the community. And I know that for a fact. It's real Minnesotans, real Minneapolisans. We love you. It's the transplants that ain't from here that don't like you. See, because we know what real Minnesota nice is. And the people that want to scream it, Vital, who's from Chicago, Flowers, Pollard, most of them are from Chicago, right? Or Detroit. They're not from Minneapolis. They're not from Minnesota. They don't even know what the hell Minnesota nice looks like. So we got a lot of fake and fraudsters, sellouts around Minnesota. So you are loved and appreciated. Oh, I know where you're from. I know where you're from. I know where you're from. But that doesn't, you're not this, you that's the one thing though, is there's a difference to people that come, that for me, that come from other cities and then come to Minneapolis. And you've never, for me, because they always want to throw it out, oh, well, Chicago did this, Chicago did that. I don't ever hear you say that. I always hear you talk about things that we should be doing in Minneapolis and not trying to piggyback off of what somebody else was already doing. You know, to me, you're original. I know you're from Chicago, and I have more respect from you than 98% of people that actually are from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Because you're real. I don't know. I know I get caught up with my words, and it's hard to explain, but $185,000, and that's what's crazy, man. All of this money, the Corcoran. So this is when I was talking about Alicia Smith. And this is what's crazy, is all this money over. So if people look up Google who Corcoran Neighborhood Organization, who the executive director was, you already know. And that's how I knew it. And then you just got to go Commissioner at Large, who was Alicia Smith. So there's a lot of things. Change equals opportunity. I'm going to get into this because I have all the contracts too. I have all the, oh, did I take that off? Yep, I did. Damn. Hold on. Because I have all the contracts. Oh, and that's what's crazy. It's all this shit is public information, and we just don't understand it. A lot of people don't understand it. It's because we're undereducated, and we don't always want to look up. We just want to believe what these people are doing. I know. I'm way off here. I'm way off. But back to, so here is, so these are the contracts right here, 262 pages. But I want to get to the one that comes up, and it's 185,000. But yeah, here goes 100,000 right here. For a new total not to exceed 275,000, including eligible reimbursable. See, Lisa was saying these are all reimbursable grants. They're not. They're not all reimbursable. These people be lying so much, it'd be ridiculous. Here goes We Push for Peace, 100,000. There's one that I wanted to get to. See, A Mother's Love Initiative. Jamil Jackson, change equals. See, these people are going to get mad, just like they've been doing before when I come out with this shit. But it's all public information. Then Julian or L Flowers Jr., you can still come in my inbox. You can send your wannabe fake ass goons. Shit don't scare me. It just makes me mad as hell that it takes a white man. And Zach is white. If people don't know, because I had to Google the guy. I didn't know who the hell he was. But he was a baseball player for the Philadelphia Phillies and their system. And obviously got a law degree. So here we go with the conflict of interest. And that's the whole thing that trips me out, is this section right here. Because there's so much conflict of interest. and even at the state level, because how can these people be board of directors? And that's another thing you got to look at too, is look at these neighborhood associations, look at their board of directors, look at like the foundations, the POLAD, the Minneapolis, what is it, the McKnight. All these people are on these boards, and then you see where the money goes or where they get their money from. The DID, the downtown district. Damn, there's so many, and it literally leads back to them. It leads back to Shiloh Temple. It leads back to Ronnie Patterson. Like, these, we're feeding our futures, and the whole thing. I don't understand how people can't see this shit, because literally, if you're not in that crew, and what I'm talking about is the dirty fucking liars, right? The DFL, because that's what they are. They're dirty fucking liars. You can all lead it back, going from Bobby to Keith to Cedric, even with the criminals. And nobody talks about it. People do talk about it, but it's not until a white person comes out and does something, because this isn't the only lawsuit right now. You have Brian Smith, who was the director of shit. And I can't even think. Let me think. Because he also has a lawsuit right now against the city, and was a part of that program at the City of Minneapolis. And it's crazy to me how nobody, you don't see VTOL in them. Oh, here we go right here. So, wait, is this it? Is this one? Oh, yep, here it is. So, Aubrey. All right, let's go back. I want y'all to see this, because this is the crazy part for me, is you have, I'll send you all of that. I'll send you all of that. I will send you all of that. Yeah, he did. Zachary didn't really, it's crazy though, Angela. Zachary really didn't expose it though. It's already, he just knew. If I would have knew how to go to court and do all of that, I would have did that. But I'm not educated enough. And I've been asking people for help for that. So here is, damn, did they already settle? Oh, wow. No, this ain't the lawsuit. I'm gonna have to find that lawsuit, but literally Brian Smith, who was the former from the damn, what is that? So he's the one that, if people, the 311, when you got the he was the director of the Office of Performance and Innovation. And did I go to it? I didn't. So yeah, he's right. That's Brian Smith right there. Okay, yep. And he has the lawsuit for other reasons. That wasn't the one I found, but he has another lawsuit where literally was saying the same things that the Zachary is saying, and people weren't paying attention. It saddens me when when Black people are alerting it, it goes, don't nobody want to, talk about it. But when the white people do it, they definitely want to talk about it. They definitely want to talk about it. And that's what really trips me out. Oh, let me take this comment off. Let's get back to these contracts. So here goes another one. We push for peace. 275,000. They used there was a lot of money, a lot of money, a lot of money. Trying to find the one we was talking about. No, that was in the summons. So okay, so 185,000. So let's find that one because I know I have that one. So because it was to the Corcoran organization. Sorry, this might blur you guys' eyes for a minute, but I'm looking for a certain contract. Oh, that's the we push for peace. Push for peace. We push for peace. Mother's Love. LLC. Y'all see it? That's the one thing. And I've called this out too of how you got to look at these nonprofits, their websites don't work. Minnesota Clean Streets, 21 Days of Peace. Their websites don't even work. Okay, so here's the blueprint. So damn, he is talking about them, the blueprint, because here it is right here. Damn. Okay. So here goes one. So he is talking about Lisa and the Mother's Love. Okay. 31,000 and then damn 57. See, that's the crazy part. Mother's Love. A Mother's Love. A Mother's Love LLC, referred to as the Consultant for Violence Prevention. Let's see what their boots on the ground patrols each Monday and Saturday night, 3 to 7, 4 hours during the period. And you know what's crazy is these people wouldn't even be out here fighting crime, preventing crime. They were preventing peaceful protests because that's where I met most of them. When I was standing outside of protest, and they were highly paid because I remember during the Dante Wright days, and literally having conversations, and literally they would be doing contracts with the city to sit here and pay these violence interrupters $35, $50 an hour to sit here and watch us. That's the crazy part. I couldn't believe it. $25. Literally, they were paying people they'd be out. Yeah, this should be crazy. And I know y'all seen it because it's all over downtown Minneapolis. They're on Merwin's, Broadway. You see them downtown. You see them over south. A Mother's Love LLC. Oh, shit. I don't care. It's public information, but yeah, that's her address. Former cop. Dirty cop. Dirty cop at that. People going, why you put her address out there? I didn't. She put it out there. Fuck you mean? She wasn't putting it on there, information. Shit, 31,000. Crazy. And then all the administration costs. Because Lisa, where is your 990 forms? That's what I don't understand. Where's your 990 forms? I don't get it. Where is your 990 forms, man? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. How none of them, A Mother's Love, Consultant, 175,000. Man, that lady getting paid. While our community's suffering. And you got Camo J, weird ass. Oh man. Oh, but this is crazy. But I want to get in. I want to play this video real quick, just so y'all can see it. Right. Oh no, they definitely couldn't. They definitely couldn't afford to have you beat Vito. The city would have been in the same thing with Soren. And I hate calling them Andrew.
known as violence interrupters.
At the Capitol, Democrats plan to increase funding to these nonprofit peacekeepers, but it's drawing the ire of Republicans who say they are not worth the millions they are already getting. Here's political reporter Theo Keith.
We got to make a line right here. Come on! We're going to make a line right here.
Minneapolis has turned increasingly to nonprofit groups to help keep the peace at a pivotal time. They're unarmed, trained in conflict de-escalation. Some members were previously incarcerated. At the Capitol, House Democrats say the nonprofits work. Their public safety plan calls for an extra $55 million in non-police initiatives like these. Unarmed, trained in conflict de-escalation. Some members were previously incarcerated. At the Capitol,
now, what you're seeing in the video so far is not them patrolling the streets. That was protests. They were literally patrolling peaceful protests. So I don't get it twisted. These people don't be out here like that at all.
Plan calls for an extra $55 million in non-police initiatives like these in high areas. As for Senate Republicans' plan,
it's pretty much zero.
The GOP says the money should go to police. Their public safety proposal includes $70 million in hiring and retention bonuses for cops. Republicans say the nonprofit groups, on the other hand, are unproven.
I think you have to establish a standard of accountability first before we start pouring tens of dollars into the hands of people that we don't know can do the job.
So I really hope they would reconsider that.
Governor Tim Walz has proposed new spending on police and nonprofit violence interrupters, saying both are needed. Minneapolis city officials are clearly believers in the community groups. Last month, the city council approved a 50% funding increase for one of them, called Minneapolis, to $7.5 million. Fox 9's Tom Lydon profiled Minneapolis in 2020.
The police and the mayors and the folks will tell you, we're reducing our crime rates because we're working in partnership with these groups. So I'm a little bit concerned that we're going to see this backlash.
The House and Senate are at the point in the session where they're advancing their own plans separately. But to make a law, they'll need to come up with a compromise by the time session ends in late May. From the Capitol, Theo Keith, Fox 9.
Yeah, crazy, ain't it? Crazy, 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 crazy. But hold on, because I'm going to show y'all something of what they're exactly talking about when they talk about the Minneapolis us. Okay. So, because my internet's slow today. Okay, so right here. Oh, I don't want the, where's the, oh, I can't get back to it. Damn it. All right. Well, it literally showed everything that I was sitting there talking about. We'll go back to the summons, the lawsuit. So he repeatedly we just talked about the Black family blueprint. So he's literally talking about a mother's love, and they're not even from that paperwork. It looked like they weren't even a nonprofit. Well, I know she is, but she was a mother's love LLC. You know what? I'm going to get on the Minnesota Secretary of State. We're going to look them up. a business search. That's what we're going to do. We are going to look them up. So, all right. Business name. No. Mothers Love LLC. Let's see. Search. No search. So let me see. How do I? Okay. Let's do contains. All right, here we go. So bring back, here we go, right here. Active details. A business name. So, all right, I found it. I found it. Some Minnesota business filings. So, a Mother's Love Initiative, LLC, bringing back the village. Registered to their office. So, filing date 2020. Now, I'm going to go back to her. Yeah, crazy. It's 2020. And it's crazy as hell how these people are nonprofits, but don't never file no fucking 990 forms to see where their money going. That'd be the crazy part for me. But I just want, oh, damn, did I even present it? No, I was about to say. Yeah, so this should be crazy to me how we literally as Black people are that uneducated, undereducated that we can't even. Yeah, man, they gave it. Clarence Hightower. Yeah, he out there with them too. There's so many names that we could literally say in Minneapolis that are screwing us over, and they're gonna keep on screwing us over unless we unite somehow, or because exposing them ain't helping. Exposing ain't helping because you have a state. Bobby is the damn Senate president of the DFL. So here is HF Bill 25 that is also brought up in the lawsuit. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit too. Because there was one part, and I want to go to, it was, okay, so here it is, Section 5. So 150 million this year transferred from the general fund to the Community Crime and Violence Prevention account and the Special Revenue Fund. So it would only be, that's what all this money, man. All this money. We can't even do why we got all this crime. So right here, I don't think I can make this screen bigger. Oh yeah, I can. So right here, Section 4 is part of the lawsuit. And it's right now, and it's crazy because they sit there in 150 million. 150 million. And where is it? Because y'all see that. That's 1, 2, 3. Wait, well, let's do it backwards. I mean, how are we supposed to do it? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. This year. And why is looking for, and this is what all this money is supposed to go to. So victim service programs, reentry programs, homelessness, which is in an abundance. We have homeless people everywhere. Restorative justice, programs that intervene in volatile situations. We could really use that right now. Juvenile diversion programs, we could really use that right now. As a part of the narrative and statistical progress reports provided to the Office of Justice Programs, grant recipients must report on specific outcomes identified pursuant to paragraph C. So grant recipients must operate crime or violence prevention programs with an established record of providing direct service to community members. Programs must be culturally competent and identify specific outcomes that can be tracked and measured to demonstrate the impact the program has on community crime and violence. Crime or violence prevention programs may include, but are not limited to, So 150 million. Where is it going? Where is it? 150 million. Right. Yeah, they organize it all. If people look at when you see these big high crimes, right? There's all over the news in Minneapolis, and they put out a reward. Who always turns them in? I want people to really think about this. Who turns them in? Because I see a few names, right? Spike Moss, Jerry McAfee, Care 11. Shit, they ran out whole vans to bring people back. Minnesota Freedom Fund. And we don't call these people out. We just vote for them again, over and over and over again. But see, we're not voting for the person anymore. At this point, we're voting for the lies. Because the lies never change. The people do. And that's what we got to understand. We have to divorce from politics. I'm not telling people not to vote. What I'm telling y'all to do is to divorce from politics and vote on a person's policies, right? Policies. Because there should be no way in hell that a woman who is destroying North Minneapolis be reelected. There's no way. That stands with landlords that have, not even landlords, slumlords. Let me take it back. Slumlords. Slumlords. And that's who y'all stand with. That makes no sense to me. But because you don't bite the hand that feeds you, that's what we get. That's what we get. And it's sick. It's so sick to me that we don't want to call it out. We don't want to call it out. Because oh yeah, I got to limit. Because this is what tripped me out. And this is what's crazy to me is how, they start celebrating their victories. But look at this folio. So let me pull this up. Look at this. Right there in the background. Who you see right there? L. Flowers Sr. celebrating Vita's victory. Ain't that about a bitch? They just flaunt this shit in our faces. They just flaunt this shit in our faces. Because at the end of the day, they know that we don't have enough unity to do anything. We don't have enough unity. We don't have enough unity. And that's what's sick to me is, when are we going to get that unity? When are we going to get that unity? Back to photos. I'm looking for a post. Let's see, photos. Okay, here it is. See, voted to pay police more, promoted an 8% increase to the salary, increased vacation, voted no on a pause of encampment sweepments, only council member to vote against Minneapolis strategic outreach initiative for juvenile diversion and violence interrupted increases in funding, voted no on rent control. Latricia voted against rent control while Muslim council members were observing a religious holiday, voted no on requiring police to maintain self-insurance, and voted against the creation of a public safety department. She's also pro-police, pro-surveillance of residents, pro-landlord lobby, anti-youth investment. Basically anything the dirty fucking liars want, she'll do it. And that's what's crazy to me. And this is what we voted in. She voted no on emergency shelters, but yet we have a homelessness crisis. This is what 31% of Ward 4 voted for. So when I see people in the community complaining, I don't want to hear that you had your opportunity October 7th. Now, if you want to talk about how you get her out of office, let's talk about that, because we can start a petition. We can recall, because there's malfeasance. Now, people just got to understand what that is, right? And that's not a conversation for today, but that is a conversation I'm definitely going to have, because I want people to understand. I want people to understand. So I'm going to end that today. Just be aware, man. Start calling these people out. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I don't believe none of those numbers either. When it came to the vote, I don't. I don't like ranked choice voting, and there's various reasons why I don't like it. But that's what Minneapolis, well, yeah, that's what the lobbyists wanted. So that's what they got. And until we understand that the city is ran by corporations and not the people that we're out here supposed to be for the community, that's what happens. So with that being said, y'all already know, have a great Friday. Have a great rest of your weekend, because today's, thank God, it's Friday. If you're a veteran, thank you. Definitely appreciate everything that you've done for our country, everything that I don't know what to say right now. If you're over in Israel, if you're over, I don't know what to say about that. But anyways, happy Veterans Day. Thank God it's Friday, and win or fail, freedom or jail, heaven or hell, wish me well.
Every day, fighting for my life. Every day, fighting for my life. Fighting for my life. Fighting for my bread. Grew from the seed you thought was rot. I think not. Fire bred desire to rise above denial, to rise from former ashes to face new trials. Trial or triumph. I am enough. Trial to triumph. I am enough.